Hey guys! Well, once again, the irony is screaming. The people who are filing false reports against me, claiming that I'm harassing them and bullying them, are actually harassing me and trying to bully me. So we've had yet another interesting day in the world of cyber harassment on YouTube. So the comments that were posted overnight just so happened to include exact phrasing, the same exact phrasing as some of the other fake profiles have posted in the past, and rather threatening posts, I might add. For example, get some class and don't be nosy, that sort of thing. And the attackers focused primarily on one video in particular, while they simultaneously were reporting it, falsely reporting it, as harassment and bullying. I kid you not. So once again, as the attackers have been doing from the very start, the attacks are showing us exactly what it is they seem rather hell-bent on trying to hide. So their latest little target for their false reporting was the video titled Gut Check Number 10, and then the word Nico with a question mark. Let's take a closer look at this particular video that they're so hyper-focused on, because what they've been doing from the start is they go berserko when we start to talk about something that is evidently a little bit too close to the truth that they're trying to hide. So I just listened to the video again, and what I noticed right off the top of my head here, what stands out, what I first noticed, is that the video is actually me asking a lot of questions. How on earth could that in any way, shape, form, or fashion be construed as harassment? To be asking questions. I asked the question of how far along you think that Christopher Watt's wife was in the pregnancy. I asked the question, why haven't the DNA results been released? And then I gave my opinion that with all the other information that's been released on this case, it sure does seem to me like they should release the DNA results too. I asked whether or not you think that Christopher Watt's wife was 15 weeks along or 13 weeks along. And then I asked if you know anybody at all who claims to have difficulty getting pregnant while they're getting pregnant really fast and many times. I don't know, do you hear anything in any of that so far that sounds like harassment or bullying? I don't. I think that's kind of weird to think that someone would have the audacity to report that as being harassment and bullying. Then I talked about looking up information on the gender testing. And I talked about how it would have required a blood test, right? If it's somewhere between 8 and 10 weeks, right? Or actually after 8 weeks. And then I asked if Christopher Watt's wife went to the doctor during her stay in North Carolina. And then I actually said, I don't know. This is all too strange. And then I said, I don't think she knew the gender of the baby. And then I said, I think what she knew was that if she could convince Christopher Watts that she was carrying his son, then she might have a better chance of trying to convince him to stay. So you tell me, what part of that video was harassment or bullying. And who exactly was being harassed or bullied? Interesting. So, because the attackers have focused so sharply on this one video, I think these are the questions we should dig in a little further and try to get answers to. Let's start with the whole gender testing thing. Okay, she claimed to know the gender of the, or she claimed her friend, the friend who didn't know how old she was, she claimed that her friend knew the results. They were in a sealed envelope. Okay, well, if they were in a sealed envelope, then how did her friend know the results? Right? Get what I'm saying? So if those results were mailed, then that would lead me to believe that it was actually a blood test. Right? So when was it that she went in for a blood test? Well, wait a minute. She didn't, right? She says she went in for an ultrasound. But the only ultrasound photo that we've been able to see so far, you couldn't see the date on it. And one thing that we're learning from the people in our subs comments and the comment threads who are nurses and medical professionals, we're learning that it isn't until 20 weeks that the ultrasound would be reliable for determining gender. And she was nowhere near 20 weeks along. So what does that tell you? Does that tell you that perhaps she had no clue whether or not she was going to have a boy or a girl? That's pretty much what it tells me. And what does it tell you when we see the attackers going berserko over that video? Well, I'm thinking that it tells all of us that we're spot on.